I'm a chiropractor. I use my hands to move the bone to let your nerve system flow, and that's all I do. I don't compete with medical doctors or physical therapists. We should work together because it's different. The spine is the thing that houses the nerves from the brain to the body and the body to the brain. So when I see on a piece of paper APPLE, my eyes read it, my brain processes, that's the word apple. If you want to move your hand, you tell yourself move hand, and the hand moves, sends a signal back that you moved your hand. That can happen to anything. Your brain is connected via the nervous system to every single function and organ in your body. A lot of times babies come to me that have what they call acid reflux. And I have a big hiccup with calling it acid reflux because there's no definitive test to prove that it's acid reflux. And the baby can't necessarily say, I have a burning acid nature in my stomach. A lot of times I find it's a nervous system irritation. Just as you would a tickle in your throat irritation-wise, the nerves behind the shoulder blades control the stomach, from the brain to the stomach to process the food and such. If the bones are out of place, you're literally smashed. The acid can't flow with gravity, and the nerve can't flow back and forth. Swelling is there, it's all nasty. So if a baby comes out of a mother, like a watermelon through a garden hose, you know, it has to be wiggled as gently as possible, or not gently, depending, to get the baby out. And that trumps everything, because you don't want to harm the child. You have to get the baby out, you know, OB nurse, right? Get the baby out. But sometimes the head is wiggled just enough in the opposite direction that it should be, that a bone shifts out of place just from that. Floppiness in the car, even on the drive home. Boom, 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 boom. It's minor whiplash. Over time, the baby's bones can move out of place. The babies are floppy. A lot of times they'll just flail. That can throw a bone out of place too. If people say their babies aren't pooping. One time I had a baby who went 10 days old without defecating. I was only in practice like 2 weeks. I was freaked out. I'd never seen a 2-week-old that wasn't my relative, you know. And they hadn't pooped at all. So the toxins, you could feel it. It was bubbly and nasty. Like, if I don't go poop for 10 days, I'm going to be crabby. And she came in. I adjusted a sacrum because it's down here. It would affect the rectum, the ability to have the room to push it out, and the nervous system control of the smooth muscle in the small intestine and in the large intestine to get it out. So I adjusted her, and she went to Walmart to get the prescription that they'd been to the MD for, in line to get the prescription, blowout diaper, you're welcome. Sometimes it's that quick, and I love it, and that's why I go to work. Sometimes it takes a while. Colic is another thing. Like, if you don't know why the baby is screaming, if you could hypothetically ask it, what would it say? Would it say, ouch? Would it say, I'm no longer in my mother's womb? You know, would it say, I don't want to be left alone? Would it say, I just don't want to go to bed? You don't know, because they don't tell you. But I've seen enough children, and I'm a mother now, so that's a new thing from a perspective, to know the difference between a wah, I'm tired, and a wah, I'm really hungry, and a I don't want to be put down, and I don't feel good, and I really, really hurt shrill. The shrill is what I don't like. It would indicate, if it was an adult, that something's up. Like, you wouldn't expect an adult to go scream all day. So, if the nerves are being stepped on, the baby doesn't know how to react. It could be pain, it could be numb, it could be stress, because it's literally stress on a nervous system. And that leads to an adrenaline release, and the baby can't calm down, because it's a snowball. So colic and acid reflux and constipation are huge. With breastfeeding itself, I'm really, you know, like every day a chiropractor, even on my days off with my kids. Like, we went on a plane ride to California, my daughter Kinley and I, when I was a little bit pregnant. Second trimester, it was safe, you know. And she's sitting next to me, and I guess I told her like 8 times to sit up straight. Because she's forward, she's like, what? You know, and this airplane sucks anyway for the seat posture. But the guy next to me was an orthopedic DO. He's like, so what do you do for a living? I was like, hi, you know, I'm a chiropractor. He's like, that makes sense. I was like, what? He's like, you told your daughter to sit up straight 8 times already. We're not even there. It's like, oh, okay. He's like, you must be pretty busy if it's like ingrained in your head. I was like, yeah, I am. But like, that's why I do that. So then I bring my new little baby home, and I know that the neck curve should be this way and the back curve should be this way. And if we're not, we're gravity old ladies, and then it leads to weak backs, and you can't hold my adjustment. So like, I'm even paranoid enough about it that when I breastfed her, I made sure the lordosis was on my elbow to get her here versus here, which helps with the latch and an open mouth. I check her bones, and she doesn't need it every time, which is great. But if a bone is out of place, it won't allow her to be as symmetrical as she could be as if the bones were symmetrical, which would allow you the both sides breastfeeding. Another cool thing is the mothers that no longer produce as much as they were producing. if you push a kid out, I don't know if C-section or not, I was a C-section, the second one is breech, but to normally push a child out, they suggest chin to chest and force to push it out. Well, that's opposite of the curve of the neck, but again, get the baby out, what are you supposed to do, you know? But if that curve is pushed, and that's in the whiplash direction, opposite of how the lordosis should be, you're gonna be prone to bad things, versus if you could push the baby out like this. And then you take the baby home, and all you wanna do is cuddle it, and then you breastfeed the baby, and you have to look at it to get the nipple in its mouth because you can't just do that at first. So your neck just becomes mush. And when you're smashed at the top of your sternum, really, that doesn't allow your pec muscles to expand. When the pec muscles don't expand, they contract, and you then don't have the proper biomechanics for the soft tissue to let down as good, hypothetically, as it would as if you were not so close-chested. When you become close-chested with the pec, it then pulls on your bones, throws your bones out of place. I've had people that come in, I do 3 ribs on one side because all they're doing with the baby, they hold the baby and they're doing this all day with everything they're doing. And this pec is screaming and this one isn't. And they breastfeed from this one. Oh no, that one doesn't work. Well, maybe it's because your muscle says, wait, milk, you can't get down there into the nipple, like it is what it is. So I adjust the 3 ribs because that's what they're doing all day, and something here to set their head on straight, and they have like triple the flow and they're squirting across the room, and I say, you're welcome. And it's not every time because I can't fix it. Sometimes it's a duct, you know, all the reasons why. But why not try? That's my point. With the babies, with the mother, with the sleep, with the pooping, with the crabby, with everything, why not try? Like, if you have a baby and you're told it's acid reflux, and you've taken them to the chiropractor, chalk it up to acid reflux. It exists. Don't get me wrong. But if you haven't tried chiropractic, I'm hesitant to just chalk it up because sometimes I can help. And it's natural. I come in with my hands. If I held your baby, I would hold it like this, check its neck, and I'd be done. All I need is this. It's from person to person, it's natural, nothing external. The body was made how it was made, with nose hairs to keep crap out,